What is up, everybody? Oh my God. This is, I've been podcasting since 2016, but this is the first time I've ever sat in front of the camera alone or did anything alone. Anybody that's tuning in, I appreciate you tuning in. I know none of you came here to really look at this face. You want to know what you need to do to win an SFBX spot. So I'm just going to jump right into everything so I don't keep you guys here too long. I'm very old school, so, I have stuff written down. I don't do computer stuff like that. So if you see me looking down at my paperwork, don't think it's amateur hour. But thank you for coming and joining me on the SFBPodathon Primer Show. As you know, the big show will be July 5th through the 6th, the third annual SFBPodathon, going 24 hours live with my co-hosts, Steve Marcus and Kevin Cotillo. You can check those guys out on Twitter also. Steve is at Sid Skeet and at Kevin Cotillo. No FF. He didn't join the FF crew. First, I want to talk about Scott Fish and why we decided to do a podathon. This will be my 5th year in the SFB. And after the first 2 years, just the overwhelming support of the community and how the community builds around this event. And it became like an unofficial kickoff to the fantasy football season, but it also brought us that joy of charity. And Scott had said it for years: organize your league, get your leagues to donate one league entry fee a year to a charity anywhere, do something. And we started to do that on the original Falafel House, which became the Fantasy Football Fun House at one point. And we just would always end our show. Kevin would always say, give back to charity, donate a league fee, do something. And Scott had created fantasycares.net, which was always about Toys for Tots, and we got on board with that. And in year one, we raised $4,700, I believe. In year two, we raised $6,200. I set a goal of $10,000 this year. We are already at $4,755, and it's been open for 3 days. The show is not for 3 more weeks. It's unbelievable. Thank all of you guys so much for contributing already. And if you haven't contributed yet, you could go to the link right at the top of the SFB Podathon page. The link is right there. Donate through PayPal. It would be amazing. But, something interesting Scott did this year. I had a phone conversation with Scott the other day. He's most likely not going to open up the Fantasy Cares link this year. He doesn't want you to donate money to him. He wants you to go out and donate money everywhere, anywhere. What's important to you? What makes you happy? What gets you going? What do you want to donate to? And with that being said, that got me thinking that with everything that's going on here, this year has been crazy. Back in March, I did a live 12-hour show. We raised money to donate to Feeding America, for COVID, COVID relief. And I spoke to Scott and I said, Scott, I want to split the money up this year. I want to give half the money to Toys for Tots. I want to go do the shopping because, believe me, there was nothing more amazing than doing that shopping last year with my children and having them be a part of that and delivering those toys to Toys for Tots. But, I also wanted to get involved in the Black Lives Matter movement. It is something that is important to me. It's something that's been important to me for a long time. Equality in general for all people. For those who don't know me personally, I was married for years to a woman of Mexican descent. I have 3 children that are, partially Mexican. I was born to an immigrant father who came over from Italy. And I grew up in a neighborhood that was a mixed community of people. And I knew nothing other than everybody being equal and everybody loving one another and everybody just, never looking at anybody different than themselves. I also have an openly gay daughter. I have a gay brother. I grew up with an openly gay uncle. I just believe in equality on all levels. So this year we're going to take half the money and give it to Toys for Tots. And the other half of the money is going to go to the Equal Justice Initiative. And I've been seeing a lot about the Equal Justice Initiative on Twitter lately. I mean, I personally had never done any research into it. I asked Kevin to give me some assistance in finding a charity that I felt was, really on a level and could really make a difference and we give back. The overwhelming support from you guys and girls who have appreciated the fact that we're doing that has been amazing to me. And I thank you guys all for your support. I didn't think I would get anybody who would be objecting to that in any way. But go to eji.org if you want to check out what they're doing. They're doing amazing things for the movement. So with that being said, we are giving away an SFB spot, an SFBX spot, and I gave out some simple instructions on the SFBPodathon account, and that was you have to follow at SFBPodathon on Twitter, and you have to follow the at DFP Network or DFPN Network on Twitter. You'll see both links. You'll see both things at the bottom of the screen. Very easy to find. DFPN is where Fantasy Football Funhouse resides. We have other great shows there. The Dynasty Dummies, J Mike and the Dummy Blitz. Kevin is doing a show with Dynasty Outhouse now. Split Takes. We have Devi show on our. Those guys are going to kill me because I don't remember the name of the show off the top. But Matt Foreman and Riley are doing that. So there's going to be 3 clues tonight. I'm going to give you 3 words at 3 different times during this show. You have to save those words, write those words down, and then DM them to me before 4 o'clock this Wednesday, the 17th. DM at Sal Lito FF. The 3 words that you hear tonight, and you'll be entered into a random drawing for an SFBX spot. The first word is B. B-E. That's the first word. I'm going to spread them out because I'm going to force you to stay here and listen to me the whole, I don't know how long it takes. But guys, also helping me out this year because I cannot do this alone. We've had a ton of people step up that want to be sponsors. Tim Torch at Tim NFL, who's been helping me for the last 2 years. And Dave Wright. Dave, I have never spoken to Dave directly. I've never had Dave on a show or been anywhere with him, but this guy volunteered, stepped up, and he is a rock star. Dave has been knocking it out of the park, dealing with the sponsors. He is at FF_Spaceman. Go follow him. Appreciate him because I really do. I see you guys are writing a lot of stuff in the corner over there, and I just don't have the ability to read it all and click it over at the same time that I'm doing this show. So I appreciate you guys being here tonight. Let me run through the list of guests. I mean, this is an amazing thing. So when I started this 2 years ago, we did some 1-hour guests, and we tried to just fill up, 24 1-hour spots, get through the overnights and see it would go. It's become so big in just the 2 years for this third show. I had to split it up into 48 30-minute segments, and there's more people that want to come on. I don't know how I'm going to fit everybody in. I want to get more people in, and I wanted to get more of the little shows in. What I mean by little shows is not little and insignificant, not little and don't matter. Little and we're not the Yahoos, and we're not NFL, and we're not ESPN. And our show and the DFPN network or the DFP network, whatever you want to call it, we're the small guys in the industry. And the big guys do a great job coming on and being a part of this. But I wanted to do 30-minute segments so I get more of those small guys on this year. So we're going to kick off July 5th, 8 o'clock at night, Eastern time. Now, that is 4th of July weekend. I figure you guys get everything out. July 4th, everything out all day July 5th. You're winding down that night. Flip on YouTube, flip on Twitter, because we're going to be in a lot of different places this year, and start to watch the show. Go to sleep with us, wake up with us, stay up all night with us. So starting off at 8 o'clock at night is going to be Heath Cummings from CBS, followed up by Evan Silver from Establish the Run. Then we got a RotoViz back-to-back 30-minute segment. So an hour of RotoViz, Curtis Patrick, Sean Siegel, then Dave Cabin and Blair Andrews. 10 o'clock, the boys over at Dynasty Trades headquarters, Shane, Mike, and Jeremy. 10:30 I have listed as open. It's not open. It's either going to be Bull Rush, because trying to get those guys in one place at the same time is almost impossible. But to get Ryan and Scott on, and everybody loves the return of Dynasty Frank. With that being said, Scott will be on throughout the whole show. He always is. Scott pops in and out. He's getting stuff done. He's just amazing on that day, and we'll have him too. Dynasty Happy Hour, Tyler Gunther, who I like to break Tyler's balls all the time. He's such a good dude, and he's easy to pick on, so I do it. Ray GQ from Destination Debbie. I don't know Ray. Ray exploded this year. I seen him just explode on Twitter, explode. I've never had a conversation with the man, and he's a tough guy to get to follow you back. So Ray, my goal through this podathon is to get a follow back from you, sir. Liz Loza from Yahoo. Now, if you listened to last year's podathon, Liz showed up during Matt. Hey, Nate, what's up, Nate? Liz Loza showed up during Matt Harmon's segment last year and absolutely stole the show. Matt's awesome, but she I think she was drinking. I think she was ready to take a trip to Vegas, and she absolutely stole the show. And we'll have her 30 minutes alone. Careful what I say, 30 minutes alone on the show with nobody else to step on her feet. She's going to be followed up by Jordan McNamara of the Analytics of Dynasty. Now, Jordan has reached out to me every time I've had a show in the March show, constantly reached out to come on, and I wanted to make sure I got him on, similar to what Scott has been doing with people who have requested years past. I want to get as many people on who have been asking to come on as possible. Then my man, Matt Donnelly from the Dynasty Vipers. If you don't know who Matt is, go check him out. I don't have everybody's Twitter handles written down here, but Dynasty Vipers, Matt Donnelly, he's a Raider fan like myself. I know it's sad, but this is what we've this is our lot in life. But Matt is an awesome dude. He made a huge donation already to the Podathon, so go check him out. The Hot Takes podcast with Steve Torini and Josh Daly. Steve is another guy who, Sal, I want to come on. I want to be a part of it. Let me be a part of it. And he's just a good Dingus4. Thank you. He's checking in himself, Matt. Dingus4 on Twitter. So Steve and Josh will be coming on. Then, guys, FF Intervention. This is a guy, Chase Vernon, who I ran into on Facebook. We don't pay a lot of attention to fantasy football Facebook. But somebody said, hey, you got to get my man Chase on the show. And I listened to Chase back in March, and this guy is good. He's polished. He does a show completely by himself. He's well-versed. He knows what he's talking about. He's personable. I want you to personally go give at FF Intervention a follow for me, because he needs to be out in the fantasy community more. He does not have a big Twitter following at all. He's at like 30 or 40 followers. Get this guy over 100 to 200 to 1,000 immediately. He deserves it. Dynasty Hot Sauce podcast with Larry Monkey. Larry has been, clamoring to come on too. He's been great. The Any Given podcast, IDP Nation, for you IDP people. We put them at 3:30 in the morning because I don't play IDP. And I despise IDP. But I know that there's a huge IDP community out there. You guys deserve your attention. So stay awake at 3:30 in the morning to see those guys. And I'm just kidding with you guys. They are awesome. QB List is another guy. I don't know Eric from anything in the past, but he jumped right out there. He wanted to be a part of it. So Eric is going to be coming on for the QB List. 4:30 a.m. We are already at 4:30 a.m. FF Down Under, Lewis from FF Down. If you don't know about the FF Down Under Bowl, go check it out. Lewis is trying to bring a little bit of what Scott Fish does here in America to Australia. It's a tournament he does to raise money, and people play from all over the world. It's not just guys from Australia. I know guys who in the old falafel leagues who play in that every year because they're worried they're not going to get into the Scott Fish Bowl. And he's followed up by the Aussie guys. If you've seen any one of my 3 live streams, my 12-hour, my 2 24-hour ones, the Aussie guys steal the show every single year. They will likely set something on fire, possibly themselves. They always come with questions about Australia to prove how stupid I am and an ignorant American. And I love these guys. They're a part of every show for me till I stop doing it. And then we go into the John Hogue Hour. The FF Mercenaries are going to be on at 5:30, followed up by the Superflex show at 6. And that's John. And, of course, FF Stompy or Stompy Bear, or what account does he have this week because he got suspended. Stompy will be there, hoping to win his title back that he lost last year to Gary, who's going to be on later in the show. And then we go into For the Love of Sunday, FTL Sunday. BJ and John, these are another 2 guys who've been clamoring to come on for years. Always good dudes. They follow me on Twitter, so they automatically get a bonus for that. Then we have Devi Marketplace. You guys know Kane Fossil out there. Kane Fossil, I think that's how you say your name. Kane's a good dude. Young dude. He calls me Papa Sal. I don't know. Great beard. I don't get it. At 7:30 in the morning, we got my man JD from the GOAT District. My brother from Canada, who sounds just like George St. Pierre, and I think that's the reason I love him. 8 a.m. Now we've done a full 12 hours. It's 8 a.m. the next morning. You guys have slept. I didn't sleep. Kevin didn't sleep. Steve didn't sleep. We look like garbage. Greg Smith from 2 QBs and 4 for 4 is going to join us, and followed up by my man Memphis Randy Young from the Dynasty Warzone. I love Randy. Good dude. Been a friend for about 3 years. Always brings it. And there's Chase checking in, telling me I'm awesome. I am awesome, Chase. You are correct. Mark Schofield. Mark is another guy, one of the first people I ever reached out to for the first Podathon. and he couldn't have been happy to come on. He's come on every one of these live streams that I've done in the 3 years, including the 12-hour one back in March. Mark is awesome. 930 is a guy who last year I got the most inquiries about. John Laub. John, the Gridiron Scholar, who does a ton of stuff on college players. John packs energy. He's a school teacher. And I think he just has to let all that energy out from being trapped in the school all the time. But John is awesome. 9:30 in the morning, followed by the FC Live Pod with, that's right, last year's SFB champion, Gary Haddo. Haddo, Gary, I hope that's how you say your name. And he's with Kevin Tompkins. Kevin came on last year with Fighting Chance Fantasy, I believe. And Kevin is another guy who's a ton of fun, a good guy, and I've become good friends with him through social media. Then we really start getting, 10:30 a.m., July 6th, 10:30 a.m., I want you to hear the group of fantasy studs that are going to be on after that. From fantasy alum Howard Bender, also from SiriusXM, followed up by my old friend Matthew Berry. If those of you guys who don't know, we got our start doing anything related to fantasy football through Matthew Berry's Fantasy Life app in 2015. We started our show in 2016, the Falafel House, which was Fantasy Life app fantasy football leagues. And Matthew was one of the first people to come on our show and legitimize us. We sucked. But he came on and people didn't care because they're like, holy shit, how did you get Matthew Berry? We got him. It was awesome. Matthew Berry's followed up by Matt Harmon, who's followed up by the Hitman, Mike Wright, who's followed up by Bob Harris. Did you hear what I just said? Howard Bender, Matthew Berry, Matt Harmon, Mike Wright, Bob Harris, boom, 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 boom. How the hell do I do the next 6 hours of the show after those guys are on? I don't know, but drugs maybe. I don't know. The Undroppables. Now, the Undroppables are a guy. I got a lot of requests. Get the Undroppables on. Guys, the Undroppables are coming on. Paulie Sleepers, who we know. The FB Stoner, who's a big, gray, bearded gorilla. He's coming on. The FF Terminator and Blake Hampton, I believe is your last name, Blake, who's the guy who reached out to me, and I got a lot of requests. Joe Trianfetti, who always donates and always talks about how Toys for Tots did so much for his kids back in the day. And Joe got in the league today. I think I saw your tweet that you got it today. And he says, Sirius should air the damn show, Sal. Let me tell you, Sirius, so the program director from SiriusXM actually reached out to Scott about the show, about the Podathon. It's something I think, after talking to Scott, that the door is open for next year with the live drafts. SFB 11 or SFB Live next year is going to be live in many cities, and we are going to hopefully be live on SiriusXM or some other outlet next year, because we need to get this out to the greater masses of people. So push for that. The more you guys hit SiriusXM up, the more you tweet at them, you tell them about the Podathon, you tell them what we're doing, they're going to probably put us on at some point. So where the hell was I? So the Undroppables are followed up by Elliot Christ. Elliot, who just made a big announcement that he's joining Brad Evans in their new venture, which is awesome. JJ Zacharyson. JJ comes on all the time, and JJ's another great guy. Last year he was on with Matthew, and maybe Matthew talked over him a little bit too much. So this year JJ gets his own slot. I love you too, Kareem. I seen that you say you love me, and that's awesome. I love you too, brother. The Dynasty Nerds, Rich and Garrett, Dynasty Rich. These guys came on with me in March for the first time. I had never spoken to them. They came on, and Rich was fiery, man. He was on with Sam Holt. If you know Sam Holt, who's, Sam, don't be mad at me if I can't remember the name of your podcast right now. It's something. I got a lot of things going on, Sam. Don't judge me. But they were going back and forth because one was a Steelers fan and one was a Browns fan, and it was really, really awesome. Jeff Lambert going for 2 in Armchair Fantasy Football is on at 3 o'clock. All about reality podcasts by Reality Sports Online. This is Matt and Luke. These guys came on last year. They sponsored an hour, and Matt said that he is, I think Goodwin, Matt is your last name. Maybe he goes by Goody. Matt is sending all 3 of us our own jug, a tub of red vines for the podcast. So he got a prime spot at 3:30. So if you people in the future want to know how to get on the podcast, the Podathon, send me crap. I mean, especially red vines. After those guys, Nando DeFino is back from The Athletic. I spoke to Nando. Unfortunately, when I made contact with Nando, it was the day that The Athletic made all those cuts. But I'm happy to see that he's still there and he's still working. And they were fantastic last year. We talked a little baseball with them. Maybe we'll have baseball by the time. I doubt it. Looks like it might not be a thing this year. Rotoviz is back. My man Colm Kelly. Colm was on with us year one of the Podathon overnight because Colm is from Ireland and we got him at some god-awful hour, which was crazy. Captain Huggy Face is asking if Ray GQ is on because you should have been here for the beginning of the show. Yes, Ray is going to be on. I told Ray my whole goal is to get him to follow me this year. He's a little stingy with those follow backs, so I'll get Ray. I've never spoken to the man before. 5 o'clock, the Ball Blast girls, Michelle and Kate are on. Love them, hate them, agree with them. They have made a splash in the fantasy industry in the last year, and they are reaching new heights. So come check them out. They like to go back and forth with that on Twitter, and I think that they hold their own pretty well. So come check the girls out at 5 o'clock. 5:30, FF Face-Off, Mike and Anthony. I'm happy to have these guys back. Mike and I live less than a mile away from each other. We've hung out before, and Mike has got his own Podathon he's going to do this year to raise money for mental health awareness, which is something I've always wanted to give attention to as well. So since I can't pack that into this show, I think it's amazing that Mike is going to do that. And that's the @FFRealist on Twitter is going to do that this year, a week after our show. So donate all your money to us and then borrow some to donate to Mike a week later. After those guys, Jeff Mans, Jeff Guru Elite, Jeff also from Sirius XM Radio. Jeff's great. He comes on, he gives whenever he can, he donates, he gives prizes. Jeff will be on again with us this year. Bob Long is back to give away a consistency guide to every single donation over $25. So you donate the $25 to give to Toys for Tots, to the Equal Justice Initiative, and you're going to get something. You're going to get a reward for that. Well, we're not even doing it for a reward, but you're going to get rewarded. Every single $25 donation will get, at minimum, a consistency guide from Bob Long, and there's going to be other prizes we'll get to in a little bit. Adam Levitan from Established Rome. We have Evan on Sunday night, and then almost 24 hours later, Adam Levitan will be on. And Adam's great. He's been on with us. We talk team sex. If you follow Adam, you know what that means. And closing out the show with us, he was here before. He said hello. It's Nate. Nate Hamilton will close the show out for us. And Nate got an hour sponsorship donated by Bob Gilchrist. Bob, I hope I said your last name right, Gilchrist. Correct me if I didn't, but Bob Gilchrist. Yes. And hey, he said something about where do I get that Funhouse shirt? So DFPN, go to the @DFPN Twitter handle, DFP Network, and we have our store lifted up there, DFPN Store Envy. And I have sweatshirts. We have all kinds of great stuff over there. I got mugs around here somewhere. Go give, donate, buy. Second word. So back to the SFB spot giveaway. I gave a word out at the beginning of the show. I'm not going to repeat it. See, that's the thing here. If I say it now, then those people that watch at the beginning are going to get away with not being here at the beginning. So you're going to have to rewind this afterwards and watch me again to see what the first word was tonight. Don't give it away. If you give it away, you're only taking away the chance that you have to win. Don't help anybody else out. So the second word of the night is the. We had the first word, and now the second word is the. Remember what these words are. You're going to write them down. You're going to DM them to me at Sal Leto, FF, SALLETO, FF. You're going to DM. My DMs are open. You're going to DM those to me. You're going to follow the @SFBPodathon account, and you're going to follow @DFP Network account. You need to do all three of those things. If I pick you randomly, I'm going to go see if you follow those accounts. And if you don't, I'm not even going to tell you you lost your opportunity. I'm just going to throw you in the garbage and pick somebody else. That's it. Cast you right off. All right, let's get back. So after the guest, I want to remind you guys, yes, Bobby Cables is here. Bobby is dying for me to talk about him. Last year, Bobby Cable's popped up in the middle of the night. He's hitting me up, begging me, you got to let me come on and tell my story. You got to let me come on and tell my story. This guy comes on. You want to talk about an authentic New York guy? He talks like this. He's Bobby Cables. You know what I'm saying? And Bobby was awesome. And Bobby is chock full of energy, and he's just a fun guy to be around. We're going to try to squeeze him on again this year, Bobby. I'm going to try. I got a lot of stuff going on, but you've been a good, loyal guy. He told me he's Sal Mafia. That's what he told me. So if I got my own mafia, I think I have to put my capo on the show. So we'll see. We're going to try to get Bobby back on the show. Last year in the middle of the night, TJ Hernandez popped up. TJ popped up, and I have a feeling he'll be sneaky and pop up again. So what I'm saying to you is the guests that you see on this list, or you heard me talk about on this list, there was going to be more. If you follow the SFBPodathon account already, you saw me tweet out at Shane Battier. Well, I will tell you this. Shane Battier did DM me, and he did say, I'm in, give me the deets. So I am trying to work that out with Shane. The show is booked. So if he tells me when he's going to come on, he's coming on somebody else's. Right? I mean, I can't turn down Shane Battier. I will not turn down Shane Battier. So if he gets back to me about the time that he wants to come on, somebody's getting not bumped, but they're going to be sharing some space. You hear that, Matthew Berry? Oh, that reminds me. There might be a surprise for Matthew on the show. Don't tell him. A shout out to a couple of different people. Adam Lewis donated $500 yesterday. Guys, no donation is too small. We've had some $10, $20, $25, $50, $100, $200, $250, $500. But I want to point out Adam because he stepped up and he just, what a huge donation. So follow that guy. Found him. I don't know his Twitter offhand, but find him. I've retweeted his stuff. Scott has retweeted his stuff. Amazing, amazing job. Shout out to the members of the Mike Beers Eliminators community. These guys have been donating chunks of money, hundreds of dollars at a time in the name of the Mike Beers Eliminators. I reached out to Mike. I told him about it. I thanked him. Mike said it's become a community. The same guys come back every year for those Eliminators. He loves them. You guys are awesome. Mike is going to be traveling that day and can't join us this year. So we won't have Mike, but we look forward to having him in the future. And while I got that up, shout out to John Bosch for all his work with the Fantasy Eliminators again this year. It has grown to almost an uncontrollable level. Scott's thing is uncontrollable. He's had to bring in Ryan, help him out. John, I know, brought in help this year because it's exploded, and it's amazing. There's nothing to complain about. It's both a blessing and a curse that all of you people want to donate and give your money, and we're finding ways to give back to the fantasy community to have you be a part of it. That's amazing. So I'm just going to rattle off some of our sponsors that I have here. These are the people that I've received their donations from already, but we have like 30-something people interested in sponsoring an hour of the Podathon this year. We're going to probably double up sponsorships per hour. The sponsors said they don't mind. We're going to try to keep the reads quick to a minimum. You're welcome, Captain Huggy Face. I don't know what your real name is, I don't think, but you communicate with me all the time, and I feel a little odd saying Captain Huggy Face, but thank you guys. Thank all you guys for tuning in. Thank all you guys for doing this. So I don't do this without you guys supporting it. So thank all you guys. You make it worth it. It's something I definitely – oh, Seth. Awesome. Well, nice to formally meet you, Seth Huggy Face. So just let me read off the sponsors who I've received money from already. Nordic Guys. Jeff Lambert's going for 2. Terrestrial Takes. PuffPicks.com. The Dynasty 101 podcast. Sideline Squib podcast. Yards Per Fantasy. We Know Fantasy podcast. Pod After Touchdown. Dynasty Vipers. Block in the Back podcast. Dynasty Rewind podcast. Bob Gilchrist again donated to for Nate Hamilton's podcast, his new podcast. Kickers Matter. Tale of Two Rivals. Draft Buddy. Fan Draft and Fantasy Sports Services. Now, Fan Draft is an online draft board service, and I didn't realize it until looking at them tonight that my home league, my old ass 1994 started pen and paper league, which my cousin refuses to put online still. We still do it. We add it ourselves. We did move to an online feature using FanDraft years ago, and I didn't realize it was the same company. So shout out to those guys. I've been using your product for years and didn't even realize you guys stepped up to be a sponsor of the show. So that's really, really awesome. There's one other group that has decided to give us some prizes to give out this year, and I'm really hoping to pick them up as a sponsor going forward in the future for my regular show that I'm going to be doing during the season. We will be back this year with the FF Funhouse with Steve and Kevin. We got away from the show a little bit last year. Guys got busy with life. Steve had a baby, got a new job, and he forgot how to function. I mean, he's pathetic. You'll see it. He's definitely pathetic. But we keep him around because he's funny to look at. So the information on how to enter for the SFBPodathon spot, it's at the bottom. So I'm going to switch over that for a couple of minutes and get back to your guys' comments here. The pod is coming back, Kareem. Yes, but also Wednesdays. Last year on Wednesdays, I started to do the Getting Over the Hump live show on Wednesdays at 6 o'clock. I'm going to move it to 9 o'clock Wednesday nights this year. I really like that show, and it's basically going to be a live midweek. It's a slow time for fantasy. You've already made your waiver claims. We're a day away from the first game of the week, and I'm going to try to get a new guest on each week. Live, talk trash, talk garbage, ask some questions, joke around. It's what I do. My best feature is laughing. Look at this face. If you had this face, what would you do? So here's one I'm excited about. Manscaped. Manscaped, we reached out to them. I'd love to get them as a sponsor for Getting Over the Hump. I think we go hand in hand. And they're going to send us some product to give out. So support for the SFBPodathon is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best men's below-the-belt grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. They obsess over their technology developments to provide you the best tools for your grooming experience. Now, we have all done it, guys. It's 2020, and I don't care even if you're my old age, and I happen to be maybe back out on the market. Maybe not recent developments, but we've all gone downtown to trim and tried to use a regular razor or a regular electric razor, and we have nicked it. I've nicked it. I've bled. I've sat there going, oh, my God, what did I do? So I've been there. And that is the reason why Manscaped has redesigned the electric trimmer. The Manscaped engineering team spent 18 months perfecting the greatest ball hair trimmer ever created and just released the new and improved Lawnmower 3.0. Their third-generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce manscaping accidents. Millions of balls are about to be nick-free thanks to Manscaped's advanced skin-safe technology. Manscaping accidents are finally a thing of the past. When I tell you this is premium, I mean premium. The battery will last up to 90 minutes so you can take a longer shave. If you're shaving for 90 minutes, what the hell have you been doing? I mean, I put that into myself. Apologies to Manscaped, but I got to wonder, what the hell have you been doing? 90 minutes? Jesus Christ. The water-resistant technology allows you to groom in the shower. Nice. One of the coolest features is the LED light, which illuminates grooming areas for a closer and more precise trimming. I don't know what you're going to see with the light, but that could be interesting. They've also upgraded to a 7,000 RPM motor with quiet stroke technology. And let's not forget about the charging stand. Show your mower off loud and proud because this intelligently designed stand is a convenient charging dock powered by USB. If you are listening to me speak right now, I want you to experience it firsthand for yourself. Trim that junk of yours. I'm talking to you, the FF Stoner. Trim it. All right? If you go there now, if you go to Manscaped right now, you'll get 20% off and free shipping with the code SFBP. SFBP for Podathon. Go there now, 20% off, free shipping at manscaped.com. The 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Again, use code SFBP. Oh my God, did I get all my talking points out? Guys, the last word that you need to have of the 3 words in order to enter for the Scott Fish Bowl spot, SFBX spot, is change. I gave you 3 words. I gave you one at the beginning. I gave you one in the middle. I gave you one at the end. I'm not repeating the first 2 words. You have to go back and watch. Take those 3 words. DM them to me before Wednesday, June 17th at 4:00 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. We're in the EDT, not the EST. Send me those 3 words. DM them to me. Read what it says at the bottom. To enter for a shot at an SFBX spot. Follow at the FP Network. Follow at SFBPodathon, which is spelled wrong. It says Podathon. It's spelled wrong. I'm old. DM me those 3 words. Remember what this is about. It's about charity. It's about giving. I can't. What's up, Waz? Waz Manscaped is a sponsor this year. What else can I tell you? Guys, check out everything we're doing. We're doing a lot of good stuff. Podathon, I just pointed it out myself, you son of a gun. All right, that's it. I got to switch it now because Waz showed up and has to always ruin everything. Anyway, the show is July 5th through 6th, 8 p.m. to 8 p.m. I listed all the guests. Go back and listen to who's going to be on the show. And again, it's about charity. It's about donating. You don't have to give to any specific charity. Would I love for you to all give to the SFB Podathon this year? Yes, I would. And our link is at the top of the Podathon page on Twitter. But go out and give to whoever you want to give to. There might be something that's more important to you, something that's touched your life, somebody that's helped you, and you're in a position to give back. Maybe your family was affected by all the COVID-related stuff that went on this year, and you want to give back. We don't care where you give this year. We just want you to give. That is Scott's word. He wants people to donate. Donate everywhere. Mention Fantasy Cares. Mention the fantasy community. Let's all come together and do the right thing. I almost said the phrase that I spelled out tonight. I almost want to say that phrase. Guys, thank you, girls, whoever's here. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. I appreciate you. I love you all. And thank you for listening to me babble. Good night, and I will see you on July